Hey friends, a few months ago you might recall me doing a video on the history of most hated K-pop debuts. It was intended to be a multi-part series because I couldn't cover all that I wanted to cover in the first video. So here we are, ready to discuss more K-pop debuts that were panned by critics and fans. I'm not here to say that I think they are all bad because I actually like a few of these songs. This list is based on the general K-pop community's opinions about these songs. Personally, I think some of these videos have their charm, but overall they're often overlooked on as embarrassing first songs for some of these groups. But this shows that some acts can overcome a less than flattering debut and still go on to have successful careers. Before we continue, please do me a huge favor by hitting those like and subscribe buttons for me. Your continued support really helps me out here in the YouTube world. And so, without further ado, let's get started with this video. Debuting in K-pop with a concept that goes against social and industry norms, the plus-size Piggy dolls were the trio girl group that showcased amazing vocal talent. Their debut song, Trend, premiered in January of 2011 with the album Piggy Style. The song presented lyrics that were meant to be powerful and inspiring, such as "My face is unique, check it out on the stage, look at me, we are the trend, I'm sexy, I'm looking good." What was meant to be a body-positive approach to the K-pop genre instead backfired, and the group suffered tremendous backlash from forums on their weight, arguing that the group promoted obesity. Their label caved, and the Piggy dolls came back just 6 months later with the song Hakuna Matata, showing the girls significantly slimmer. They had lost a combined total of 52 kilograms or 113 pounds between the three of them. As a result, their transformation made the girls feel empowered, but their curvier fans felt left out. They could no longer identify with the girl group and then became their antis, according to the interview with the band on Sketchbook. The Piggy dolls had a rough debut, and although they released a few digital singles, there was no music videos, albums, or promotions to go with them. When the group finally came back in 2013 with the song Ordinary Girls, fans were greeted with an even bigger change compared to the dramatic weight loss. They had a completely new lineup. All three of the girls were replaced with even thinner ones, and gone were the original Piggy dolls who embodied self-confidence and strong vocals. In fact, one scene in Ordinary Girls showed one of the girls crying while she was eating a cupcake, which equated sadness with eating. K-pop fans were shocked at the agency's direction for Piggy dolls, and the group never recovered. And sadly, Piggy dolls ultimately disbanded after Ordinary Girl. Stop. Hey girl, stop. K-pop fans now know Block B as a group of boys who are passionate about their work and had fun along the way. But their 2011 debut year wasn't so terrific. They debuted in April of 2011 with the song Freeze, and the song was slapped, and not in a good way, with a 19 rating right off the bat, as the Commission of Youth Protection deemed it quote-unquote too sexy for the Korean youth, and the MV could not be aired before 10 p.m. This rating can seriously hamper album sales and is often the death knell of budding K-pop acts. Even though the group revised the song several times, it kept getting blocked. Pun intended. Yes. The bad streak continued, and the boys barely got promotion since their stages were always cut short, and the group was forced to switch their song to Wannabe because of Freeze. They were also criticized for their style choices and the way they handled their appearances, because, let's be real, some of them were ratchet. Fans and even the group members themselves look back at their debut year as a dark and embarrassing time. Focus. But all ended well. Block B changed things up in 2012 with Nalina, Nillili, Mambo, and finally found their element. The tracks were well received by fans, and they finally realized the sound and artistry that's most associated with Block B. After successfully suing their company in 2013, which was yet another dark moment, Block B moved to 7 seasons where they gained control of their image and product and were finally able to fully embrace their destiny. When it comes to a K-pop debut, there's no such thing as bad publicity. When Korea's KBS television station banned newcomers MOA's debut music video for I'll Call Ya after its release in February 2014, you would think it's because the girls did something scandalous. Sadly, it was all the music video's poor quality that did it. Ouch. Which is interesting because the group's label was called Professional Entertainment, and I guess in this case, low budget equaled low quality. PE released a second, better version a few days later, but it didn't receive a much better reception. Their debut stage unfortunately didn't help their cause either, as fans pointed out the low quality of their vocals and being rushed into a debut they weren't ready for. The girls did their best and performed it live with no backtrack when most acts at least perform with some sort of backtrack. It only really added fuel to the fire. The girls followed up with Run For Your Dream the next month, but the damage was done. Even though MOA announced an early 2015 comeback, the girls presumably disbanded after inactivity. Sad to say that their dreams never got to come true like they had hoped, but let's hope that they were able to achieve their dreams in other ways. From the frying pan into the fire for these ladies, members Chani, Jaeyoung, and Jaina all left the group MOA shortly after the second single Run For Your Dream to join 4L, which stands for 4 Ladies, just a few months after the former group's failed debut. From the moment 4L released its music video teasers for Move back in the summer of 2014, the band had controversy on its hands. Although the lyrics weren't necessarily LGBTQ themed, the first teaser definitely highlighted a lesbian theme for the music video. Remember that this was 2014, when homosexuality was less accepted than it is now. 2 other provocative teasers followed, and the label responded to the uproar by saying, "The teasers are just the tip of the iceberg." I don't know, that's how I say it in my head. Anyways, the next video showed 2 members in a passionate scene in which they were undressing each other. The video caused such controversy over not only its LGBTQ themed direction, but its overly sexual choreography resulted in a dreaded adult-only 19+ rating for the music video. Upon its release, netizens took to the music video to express their distaste of the MV and to basically slut-shame the girls and hit that dreaded dislike button. Because we all know how much that sucks. The attention helped garner the MV 6 million views in its first 2 weeks, which was remarkable for an unknown group and company at the time. Fans defended 4L by pointing out that Western videos showed a lot more than what 4L did, and that the members of course would be praised if they were boys. The double standards at its finest, y'all. But this is Korea and Asia after all, and not every type of sex sells. 4L didn't have their live promotions until a month after the video's release because they had to make alterations to their choreo, style, and the lyrics, and even that didn't help. The girl group didn't get the rewards the company was seeking, and 4L ultimately disbanded without even releasing a follow-up song, with the members going their separate ways. The group most known for being one of the most underrated K-pop groups in second generation, Yukis's start in 2008 didn't foreshadow what was to come. The boys debuted with a young, innocent image in the song Not Young, but they faced stiff competition from the beginning. Other newly debuted groups like 2PM and SHINee came from the big 3 companies, and the going was rough for them. But our boys persevered, and they followed up with I Like You, which continued the innocence concept. However, as the boys matured as a group, they got bolder and ditched their debut concept, and after many intense discussions with their company, the group grew closer and tackled the more mature and masculine concepts that more align with the identity they long for. They came back with the Brave Brothers tracks Man Man Honey and Bingeul Bingeul, and soon U-KISS found their stride and made a name for themselves during what we now call the 2009's golden age. Some new fans look back at U-KISS's debut days with embarrassment, and the boys admitted that their debut concepts didn't sit well with the public. Regardless though, they ended up having a prolific career in the following years, and let their story, as well as others mentioned, that it just goes to show that everyone has to start somewhere. Not all of us start on a golden throne with a crown on our heads. Perseverance is key, and while you may have setbacks in life, may these serve as lessons and opportunities to make the right changes to be the better version of yourself you're meant to be. Never give up. Well, that's it for today, friends. For part 2, I covered 5 more K-pop debuts for this video's topic and left more for potentially more parts to the series. If you want me to share the history of other K-pop groups, share your thoughts in the comments. And as always, thank you all for watching. I appreciate your support. Please be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons for me. And while you're here, check out many more of my videos and see you next time.